This visual journal is about the stunning east side of Glacier National Park.
Welcome.
I'm Michael.
I'm Danita, and we're a couple of screws loose. We tell stories.
So let's get started.
St. Mary Lake, surrounded by towering, majestic mountains, is located on the east side of the Glacier National Park, and it is the second largest lake in the park. The Going to the Sun Road runs along its north shore and down into the Great Plains. Goose Island sits in the middle of the lake, and it has an interesting story. The story goes that two native lovers from separate tribes would sneak out to the island to be together, which their tribes did not approve. So one day the lovers escaped to the island to make their plans to leave the area. They were pursued by their tribes to take them back to their homes, but before the tribes reached the island, the Great Spirit took pity on the lovers and turned them into wild geese, who became mated for life and flew away. We stopped to look at this long lake with its lone island, but we didn't see any geese.
Mini Glacier Hotel is set like a gem in a cradle of the Rockies, with the clear blue waters of Swift Current Lake at its feet, the dramatic prow of Bullhead Point across the lake, and surrounding mountains rising up 7, 8, 9,000 feet and marching back to the Continental Divide. We loved our time at this hotel, but we wound up there sort of by accident. Even though we were visiting the park in September after the peak season, and even though the wind was howling and the rain was pelting, the campground that we were aiming for was filled to capacity. It was pure luck that there was room available at the hotel. Built in 1914 by the Great Northern Railway to promote tourism, the original complex consisted of the hotel itself and a scattering of individual chalets. Through the years, some of these chalets were lost to fire or crushed by avalanche. The hotel itself is a glorious expression of the Western Lodge style. Rough stonework forms the ground floor walls. Swiss-inspired balconies, windows, and decorative eaves and railings enhance the exterior. A double helix circular stair graces the great room. The massive fireplace in the great room provides a generous raised hearth where guests may warm their bones. The huge dining room features rough beams in its high ceilings, a massive stone fireplace, and the views from the lakeside tables are not to be missed. There are no bad views from the hotel, but I confess that the lakeside was my weakness.
Red Rock Falls Trail is an easy 4.2-mile round-trip hike. It will take you next to two pretty mountain lakes, Fisher Cap and Red Rock. The trailhead to Red Rock Falls is located at the western end of the Swift Current Motor Inn parking area. Once on the trail, you'll pass by the lakes and go through aspen forests and open areas with stunning views. And then you'll reach the falls, and you'll know instantly why they are called Red Rock. The Red Rock formations stair-step down from high cliffs with water cascading over them and down into pools. The red color is caused by the abundance of iron oxide, which turns the rock color to red. You can see these oxidized red rocks throughout the park.
In the southeast corner of Glacier National Park lies Two Medicine Lake. It sits in a beautiful valley that runs deep into the Rocky Mountains, giving a backdrop of rugged peaks to the cold, clear water of the lake. It was a beautiful day. We settled into camp, and we were pleasantly surprised when a group of bighorn sheep wandered through the campground. The next morning, after a hearty breakfast, we hit the local trails. There are a lot of paths into the mountains from this area. Sparkling waters, majestic views, wildlife, and beaver dams.
Two Medicine Creek leaves Two Medicine Lake, and it jumbles along until it's stopped by a wall of rock, and then it disappears underground, only to come out of a cave from the face of a cliff. Running Eagle Waterfall rushes from the cave and splashes into a pool below, feeding a wide stream filled with colorful red and green and gray rocks. The trail to the fall is well maintained, and it is an easy walk to get to the viewpoint. Running Eagle Waterfall is named after a Native American woman who was a warrior and a war chief of the Blackfeet Nation. She led many war parties on many highly successful raids and was the only woman in the Blackfeet tribe to ever do so. The tribe's chief, Lone Walker, bestowed the name Running Eagle on her because of her greatness. Powerful animal names are only given to the bravest warriors, and it was the first time it had ever been given to a woman. This particular waterfall is named after her because it is near the area where she went on a vision quest. As you view this beautiful waterfall, the majestic Rising Wolf Mountain towers behind. It is named after the first white man to live with the Blackfeet Indians. He received his Indian name as a result of his habit of getting out of bed in the morning on his hands and knees, resembling a rising wolf.
Leaving Glacier National Park, traveling south, the road drifted into an expansive landscape of smoothly rolling wheat fields stretching beyond the eastern horizon. And to the west, there stands the Rocky Mountain front, a great wall rising abruptly from these northern Great Plains. We were a little sad to leave Glacier National Park, but Glacier had given us glorious memories to carry home. Our next destination, Yellowstone.
Hey, you're still here!
Please give us a like to help us promote the channel.
And subscribe to stay tuned for more stories from A Couple of Screws Loose.